Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well, and today, you know I just had to talk about this story, so if you haven't been following the news, you know that they just released a teaser trailer for Ghostbusters 3, which is apparently coming out in 2020. It is going to be directed by Jason Reitman, who is the son of the famous Ivan Reitman, who did the original Ghostbusters movies, and it's going to be a continuation of the Ghostbusters movies, so Ghostbusters 1, 2, and this is going to be Ghostbusters 3, and so some people were starting to speculate and ask questions as to, okay, where does Ghostbusters 2016 then fall into it? And really all you need to do is just do a little bit of thinking and understand this is them basically trying to pretend like that movie didn't happen, which makes a lot of sense seeing that that movie, one, sucked, and two, was a movie that overall did nothing to add to the story and did so poorly a job to add to the story that no one went to go see it. It's the reason why it ended up losing money at the box office. It was a box office bomb. I mean, I think it made a little bit more than people suspected. I want to say it ended up making like well over $250 million at the box office, like in total when you take in domestic and worldwide totals. Obviously, most of that coming from domestic totals, because why would foreign audiences want to go see this garbage? But anyway, it was still a film that got praise from critics. It was certified fresh or close to the certified fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes by critics, and then audiences absolutely hated it because it just wasn't good. It wasn't funny. There was really no chemistry between any of the characters on screen. Like, even going back and thinking about the movie, which is something that just I hate to do because it was so bad, and I hate thinking about bad movies. All I could think about was the fact that at the time, I don't think I ever realized, because there were so many other things to complain about, the characters had no chemistry with each other, which is one of the many reasons why the film just overall doesn't work. Not only that, but also it's a film that just isn't necessary. It isn't needed. The only, like, seriously, the pitch for the movie and the whole premise of the movie, the whole driving force of the movie is, oh, all the Ghostbusters are going to be female this time around. That's not a good enough reason to make a movie. That would be like if you did that for any other project, for either making the character a male or a female or whatever. If that was your driving force, guess what? One, people probably aren't going to be interested in that. And two, if that's your sole focus, then guess what else you're going to lose in the process? You're most likely going to lose track of the fact that you have to tell a good story. You have to tell a compelling story. But apparently that just doesn't matter. Apparently that just doesn't matter anymore, because this apparently is a hateful move. And to see the media's reaction to this, not just the media, but of course Leslie Jones' reaction to this, has just been absolutely amazing. Like, the fact that they're calling anyone supporting this project to be, you know, toxic masculinity, and saying, oh, this is just justifying the backlash, the sexist backlash. I'm sorry, but could you say, let's just, you know, again, let's just talk about this sensibly. That's what I like to try and do. I like to talk about things sensibly. Could you say that there were some people who are actual sexist who boycotted Ghostbusters 2016 because there were women on screen? Sure. Were there some people that did that? Absolutely. But if you're trying to tell me that that was the backlash, if you're trying to tell me that that was the main reason why people were rejecting this film and didn't go to support in theaters, you are an idiot if you think that. Like, let's just be honest with ourselves for a second. Could it possibly be that the movie just sucked? That the movie wasn't well written? That the movie didn't have the best acting in it overall? That the movie didn't have good characters? That the movie had forgettable characters? I don't remember any of these characters' names. I have no desire to ever see this film ever again, because it just was unnecessary. It was them trying to reclaim some of the old magic of the originals, but the only thing, the whole gimmick, because that's pretty much what it was at this point, was a gimmick, was that the entire cast was that instead this time around was going to be female, and the secretary was going to be Chris Hemsworth. So at the end of the day, that's all that you really have to work off of, and of course, no one went to go see it. So can we at least be honest and say, yes, there were probably a few people, again, a small percentage of a percentage that might have actually been sexist, but that the huge portion of people, the 50% or so that decided just not to go see it, the ones that, you know, that did see it, that didn't like it on Rotten Tomatoes and other, you know, plenty of other sites overall, didn't like it because the movie wasn't good. Could it possibly be that? And for anyone to say, oh, no, it's not possible, I mean, the critics understood why, and it's obvious that the reason why it didn't do well financially is because of sexism. It's like, no, the reason why it didn't do well financially is because it wasn't a good movie. Just look at the audience ratings from multiple sites. Just look at the fact that it didn't make money, the fact that it did lose money in the long run at the box office. That tells you all that you need to know. Those are verifiable facts. Those are verifiable numbers that we can look to. You trying to say, oh my gosh, it was because of sexist, that's all like your opinion, dude. And I know that we obviously, when we talk about films, when we talk about film criticism in general, there is obviously going to be opinion involved with that, but there's also objective realities too. And objectively speaking, there were not good relationships on screen. The characters did not work. The story was not good. The story, in an objective way, was not necessary for the Ghostbusters franchise to move forward. And let me just say right off the bat too, I'm not trying to defend Ghostbusters 3. I don't think they should make a Ghostbusters 3 at this point. I think that they should just leave it be. I think that if they want the original cast to come back together, do a short film. Do something, you know, that maybe is for charity or something. That could be a cool way to get the characters back. But to make an entire new franchise, or rather entire new movie, and set up new characters or whatever it is that they're going to try and do with this movie, I think that would be a big mistake, because one, you're just going to further taint the Ghostbusters franchise, but also two, because of Ghostbusters 2016 and how bad it was, and also now because Leslie Jones and all the mainstream media are jumping on this and basically destroying this film before it even comes back, you know, before it even comes out, is just going to set this movie up for failure before it even comes out, which is really sad. I would not be surprised if this movie, because of this faux backlash by Leslie Jones and all the other people on her side of the aisle, you know, because of this, I think that they might just, because Hollywood obviously pulls all the strings, might pull the plug on this project before it even gets started. And that would be hilarious, seeing that it's taken them like 30 years or so to actually get this product off the ground, because they've been wanting to make a third movie for a very long time, and a lot of other behind-the-scenes politicking and fighting behind the scenes just kept it from happening. But Leslie Jones, let's just actually get to the words that she said, because they're just a gem. And they also, to me, if you want to talk about privilege, because, you know, they always love to talk about white male privilege and toxic masculinity and everything. The only thing that's toxic and the only thing that is privileged at any point is Leslie Jones here and her commentary. So insulting, like F us. We didn't count. Okay, well, that is just grammatically incorrect. And again, I make mistakes too, but it seems like you did that on purpose. And is that supposed to mean that you're cooler than everyone else because you purposely misspell things? Okay, that's good for our culture. It's like something Trump would do. What does he have to do with any of this? And then she goes on as a, gotta redo Ghostbusters. Better with men, will be huge. Those women ain't Ghostbusters. Well, first off, it probably will end up doing better than Ghostbusters 2016, but has very little to do with the fact that it's an all-female cast, and more to do with the fact as to why it's an all-female cast, and also the story that followed overall, which is just worthless and not worth seeing at all. Ugh, so annoying. Such a D move, and I don't give an F. I'm saying something. Okay, yeah, you don't give an F, and you are just, you know, I love how everyone's gonna be like, oh my gosh, she's so brave. Oh, she's so brave saying something on Twitter, because that is just the quintessential, that is just the pure evidence of bravery right there, is to say something on Twitter. Oh my God, she went after Trump. Like, no one's ever done that before. Like, no one does that on a daily basis. But oh my God, she's so brave. No, she's not brave whatsoever. She is basically just showing us where the real toxic environment is. Like, seriously, it's so interesting that her saying this right now is totally fine. Not going to receive any repercussions or anything. This is not against community terms of service or anything like that. But I guarantee you that if I had said something like this about her, about Barack Obama, or about other people, guarantee you that it would have probably gotten a lot more negative attention. And there's very good chance that I would have gotten a warning or a strike or something like that. But it's, you know, you're excused from that behavior. You're allowed to do these types of things when you're on a certain side of the aisle, because obviously Twitter is politically motivated. Like, this is, again, nothing new. This is something that is very obvious and apparent by the fact that what channels get shut down, what Twitter pages get shut down, versus which ones are still somehow allowed to be open. Same thing on YouTube as well. You have a YouTube channel where someone tortured an animal that was allowed to come back, but then you have someone else, just because they don't agree with you politically or because they don't make PC jokes, oh man, you can't come back now, you lose all your subscribers, etc. Like, it's just, that is just the ridiculous state that we live in the world today. But she, again, is missing the entire point altogether. Not only does she fail to realize that her movie sucked and didn't make any money, there's a whole reason why that movie never got a sequel and never will get a sequel, and why bringing those characters back would be the dumbest thing to ever do in the history of film projects. But you know, with this kind of reaction, they probably either will scrap Ghostbusters 3 altogether, or will make it so that, oh my gosh, now all the characters are going to be back in it, and it's going to be officially a part of the canon, and it's going to all be great. No, please don't do that. I would rather you just scrap the project altogether, because at the end of the day, as I said before, I'm not defending Ghostbusters 3. I don't think that they should make a Ghostbusters 3, but it's not because of this stupidity. It's not because of this nonsense. But no, seriously, Leslie, I think you're absolutely right there. Yeah, screw you. Seriously. Screw you and screw the movie that you made, because the movie that you made sucked. And the movie that you made by most actual Ghostbusters fans is not a part of the canon. And Ghostbusters 3, if it just continues the story and pretends like that never happened, I would say that's fine. If you're going to have to make the movie, which again, I, by principle, am against Ghostbusters 3. If you have to make another movie, then you better make that movie not canon. You better ignore Ghostbusters 2016, and it's only because the movie sucked. It didn't add anything to the story, and the only driving force of the movie was, oh my God, it's all women. And that is never going to be a good reason, ever. Just like as I said before in one of my previous videos, if you made it Little Women, but instead you made it Little Men, that is stupid. It's the same reason why I think the whole new concept coming out, I think in a couple of weeks, they've got What Men Want. And it's a remake, essentially, or a reboot of What Women Want. And it's like, okay, why are you just taking an old concept and trying to turn it on its head and just trying to make a political point with it? I'm sorry, like, what women want was hilarious because it was just fun. But what men want, is just not going to be silly fun. It's going to be, oh my gosh, now it's going to talk about masculinity and toxic masculinity, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because that is just the talking point of the day. So Leslie Jones, seriously, like, I'm glad that you're insulted by this. I'm glad that you're insulted by this. But you trying to act like you're the purveyor of all truth and knowledge and using incorrect grammar and cursing and all these other things, you just need to face the facts. And the facts of the matter are your movie sucked, no one liked it, and guess what? No one saw it either because no one wanted to see it. Because your movie was something that no one wanted. Because if you want to make a movie with an all-female cast, that's fine. That can work. Bridesmaids is a great example of that. All-female cast. Guess what? Universally acclaimed by audiences and critics alike. I personally didn't like it, but a lot of people did. So if you want to talk about, oh my gosh, sexism, okay, where is the sexism? Did the sexism just decide to take a day off that day? No. The reason why people came out against your movie is because the entire premise was built on, oh, that would be fun to make an all-female Ghostbusters. And that's just identity politics. And most people don't want that, don't like that, and never will. But anyway, what are y'all's thoughts on this? I know that this is just one of the, this is just like the tiny bit of the iceberg with this entire situation, because there's a lot of other media sites and media pages that are attacking them because of the fact that they're going to do away and just ignore Ghostbusters 2016, etc. But at the end of the day, just objectively speaking, again, get out of your own mind for a second, get out of your own ego, get out of your own political bubble for a second, and think logically. Did that movie make money? No, it lost money. Okay. Did that movie get positive fan reaction? No, it didn't. In fact, it split, if not more negative than anything else. Okay, that is where we're at with this. Would you, therefore, logically and objectively speaking, want that film to be attached to another chance to reboot the movie or another chance to continue the story from the originals that are still usually, universally loved and still have a lot of positive buzz around them? Financially and objectively speaking, no, you would not. So Leslie Jones, go ahead, shut your mouth, stop being an idiot, stop being an asshat. But of course you won't, because you and all of your crazy liberal identity politics driven friends in Hollywood just don't get it, don't understand it, never will understand it, and you'll continue to be protected by people on Twitter and YouTube and all these other platforms that you have to spread your nonsense and to spread your fake hatred. You want to know where the real hatred is? Right here. You need look no further than the words coming out of Leslie Jones here on Twitter. But she's so brave because she tweeted this out. Good for you. Good for you. You tweeted something out. You are so brave. And yet you've also shown everybody rather, why you yourself are an idiot. But anyway, guys, what are y'all's thoughts on the whole Leslie Jones situation? Are you kind of with me where you don't really care about a Ghostbusters 3? To be honest, at this point, if they make it just to make 2016 Ghostbusters non-canon and just erase from existence, I'm okay with that. Still, though, I will say, because I will stand by my principle here, I don't think they should make it just because I don't think we need another Ghostbusters movie, personally. That's just me. But what are y'all's thoughts on it? I would love to hear your comments below. I would love to hear you in the comments below. If you like this video, smash that like button, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe. You are all amazing and beautiful people. And Leslie Jones, I wish I could say the same for you, but you've proven yourself once again to be just an ugly person inside and out. So, have a great day. And as always, God bless.